Shalom, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a live episode of Faith Walk, the intersection of life and faith. And we are live today, Wednesday, August the 6th, 2025. We are in your birthday month.
Hello, my birthday month.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. And if you were here last week, oh, what a surprise and an absolute fun show. If you were not here last week, you must go and look at it. I cried through most of all of it. Sharon surprised me, and the entire show was about me and birthday, and I had visitors coming on, and it was just such a wonderful show. Sharon, I'm telling you, August the 1st, it is a national holiday, like I said before, and I have been in birthday mode ever since. From August the 1st, which was on a Friday. You know, we and Sharon went out, and we had crabs, Dungeness crabs, all you can eat. Me, Sharon, and my friends went out and
we surprised her. She only thought I was going to be there. But others came as well, and she was surprised as well.
Completely surprised.
So you can find it on social media.
Felicia. Felicia.
Finally, Felicia.
Yeah, it is so good. And Doreen was there.
Yeah,
I said her name right. So Dolly, you know what I'm talking about. And that was so much fun. And then we ended up that was Friday night, and then Saturday, Akila and I went to Fogo de Chao. Yes, in Philadelphia. It was absolutely exquisite. It was just so delicious. It was just so delicious. And then on Sunday, I ended up going to breakfast with Akila and my grandchildren. And then we had a day by the pool. Sorry, Bishop, I wasn't in church celebrating your birthday. So, and then on Monday, I was off on Monday. And then I just spent the day. We had breakfast. Ayana made me a beautiful breakfast, which was so delicious. And then I just spent the day just, relaxing. And I believe that's what I'm going to do the rest of the month. Is just do different things. Last night, I ended up going out and having food by myself. And it was just wonderful. So I just wanted to just, give all that information. And tonight. We have coming on the show tonight.
Yes.
I call him the world-renowned photographer.
Oh, and I believe
absolutely.
It is
absolutely. Yes. So we're so excited about Erik Montgomery. I know there was some technical difficulties, so I'm not sure whether or not he's in the studio yet.
Nope, he's not in the studio yet, but he will be. We're working on it. We're working on it.
The devil always fight when it comes to this show. That's because we're just
that's how powerful
for greatness.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's how you know. When the devil fights you hard, you know that your assignment is great.
Exactly. So. Now, it's something that I noticed that Sharon didn't mention, so I will give her 2 seconds to mention something that you didn't have last Wednesday. Do you know what that is?
I didn't have last Wednesday. Oh, no. You remember when we first came on, didn't I say something about your haircut?
I did not hear a word.
Oh, did you go back and watch the replay? Because you could be right.
I'm all the way right.
Oh. My bad.
Yes, it is her bad.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you have it on Wednesday?
No, that's what I'm saying. You were supposed to say something about it today.
Oh, I was going to say, wait a minute. You didn't get that cut until the first. Yes.
I'm talking about when you came on. That should have been the first thing after you said hello.
Yes. Well, I wasn't thinking because I've been seeing it for a week now.
Exactly.
But
slamming. Thank you.
Banging. Love the bob.
Thank you.
Love the bob.
I do love it. I do love it. I think I'm going to start a tradition where every August 1st, I get my hair cut, because I literally cut my hair August the 1st last year, and it grew all the way down my back, around my neck, everywhere. It was just I had half a day.
I was trying to get her to give me something.
So I got it cut again August the 1st, and so me and the bob is going to work out right now.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
I think I cut it a little teeny bit higher this time than I did last year.
High. It looks like
I don't know.
A teeny bit.
After a while, who knows? I may go all the way up here. I don't know. But I am enjoying this new haircut. This new style. It's about living.
Yeah,
it's about living and loving life, and that is why I'm celebrating my birthday so hard, because I'm so thankful to God for allowing me to still be here today. And so
that's right. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
living is a blessing.
Yeah, everybody didn't make it. People are down while we're on the phone, while we're right now on TV.
Exactly. Right? That's true. That's true.
I'm just
Tomorrow's not promised. So the next second is not promised.
Hello.
So we're grateful.
We're breathing right now. Yeah. Make sure hello. But anyway.
Can I still breathe?
Yes. Okay. Stay alive while you're on the show. Okay. And then I'll put you off. But anyway, so it's just, life is just so good. It's just good to be. It doesn't mean everything is perfect, though.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you walk on this earth.
Please, life is lifing.
Okay. Have you all heard that life be lifing? life be lifing.
Exactly.
Because this was a rough week when I got back to work. I ain't even gonna talk about it, but anyway, woo, it was a rough one. But I'm just so excited anyway to be here, and so we're just looking for this great show.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were surprised twice last week on the show and then at dinner. And that, you're such a blessing in people's lives, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your clients, you're a blessing in everyone's life who you come across, your church family. Yeah. And so, you deserve that and more, Sandra Lee. That was just a little something. That was just a little something. Wait until, things happen.
Wait until. All right. Well, Sharon, how are you now? I don't want to be just about me.
Well, it's not my birthday month, so it can be about you.
But you're doing all right.
I'm doing well. I'm blessed and highly favored. Oh, my hair has grown so long. I had to go and I said crimp it and color it to match my skin. It's just like it's just getting too long.
Right, it is gorgeous. And next week it'll be up here.
Yes.
We'll be trying the boss next week.
Yes. But I think this color matches my skin so well. It looks like it's just growing out of my scalp. So I'm pleased.
It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful.
Well, thank you for noticing, darling.
Absolutely. That's what we do.
So we have some people in the chat.
Oh, already, yes. Who we have here? Okay.
So thank you. Hi, Honey Bunches.
Hey, Honey Bunches.
Aisha says, good evening, everyone. Love the haircut.
Thank you.
Yes. And Netta says, hello, ladies.
Oh, yes.
And Netta also says, I agree, Sharon. Talking about you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Netta.
And Kathleen Jones says, hello, ladies. Hi, Kathleen. How are you this evening? Thank you, ladies, for joining us this evening. And any of you who are watching and you have not commented, that is fine. But we can't shout you out unless you make a comment. But if you don't want to, that's fine, too. But thank you for watching, whether you comment, whether you watch on the replay, or whether you don't comment. We appreciate everyone who watches. So while you're watching, do something for us that is free of charge. You're watching via Facebook, like the page or follow the page, whatever it's called, and like the video. Click that little thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, click the thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Just push the button right. Take your little finger and push the button.
This one is
right. Because you know what? When you watch a lot of people, especially probably on all platforms, people will say, people who are content creators such as myself, that I have just say 1 million viewers, but only 500,000 are actually subscribed or have liked the page.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, wow, but they watch regularly, but they haven't liked the page. But people forget, you get engrossed in what people are talking about, or for whatever reason. So it's like, you're watching all the time, you must like it, so like the page or follow it.
And that'll generate a better.
Well, it gets your show and your content in front of more eyes. Because of the algorithm. More people like it, and then more people comment. People must like this, so let's push it out to other audiences. So it grows your audience. And so that's what we want to do, because we want to get God's word out to as many people as possible, saved and unsaved. Yes. So and again, so as Sandra spoke about earlier, our guest tonight, again, having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna work this out. But it is the renowned fine arts photographer, Erik James Montgomery.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, he is an elder in the Church of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And he is a personal friend of ours, and have known him for years. And his photographic work is second to none. Not saying that because I know him. I'm not saying that because he's a friend. But if you see it, and we're going to show some things tonight. If you can see our border, Sandra, our border, that is actually one of his photographs. Now I'm going to try and say what I see, but he can explain it. It's the American flag, but then it has bars in front of it. So if you can imagine, now if Sandra and I weren't here and you can see the whole thing, you would just see the bars and the American flag. So that says to me, the incarceration of America. Right. And so, but now that's just that's his. I'll let him explain it. But
that's your interpretation.
Right. So America.
Right.
And how people have lived in America. And so it's just not taking random pictures. His pictures have meaning. They have depth. They're very cultural, and they're very timely, and from previous times to current times. He's actually having a 35th anniversary. He'll be a photographer next month for 35. He will have been for 35 years next month, and he's having an exhibition in Newark, New Jersey, and in Camden to celebrate his 35th year of photography. So I know that's going to be really amazing.
Nice. The new studio is beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I was here for the ribbon cutting.
Okay.
So nice.
Yeah, so we can't say enough about his work. If you see it, you're just touched, you know, and his work is for purchase as well.
Absolutely.
So you definitely want to buy some of his work. Do we have any other comments in the studio? Nope, not right now. Okay, so we're still working to get Erik in the studio there he is.
That is the man. This is the world-renowned Erik James Montgomery.
Let's give him a hand clap.
Absolutely. He has risen. Yes.
Erik, I don't know how long you were there listening to me.
About 20 minutes. That's about 20 minutes. That's all.
Well, I don't know if I did your work injustice or justice.
No, you did great. Hello, ladies.
Hello, how are you?
It's so good to see you.
So happy to see you.
So good to see y'all. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you, but can you turn the volume up just a tad?
How's that?
That sounds better. Yeah, that sounds better. You can
project your voice.
Yeah. Yes. If the button don't work, use your voice.
Oh my God.
Oh, so happy to see you.
Yes, it is good, good to see you. So are you in your studio right now?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So am I seeing cameras in the back?
Yeah, so these are actually cameras. I collect cameras. The oldest camera I have is about 110 years old.
Wow. Okay.
So like recent cameras. Yeah, these are 110 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
This is the first camera. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, well, Erik, we know you. Tell us about you. Let the audience know who you are and just give us some information, whatever you want to share. We will be delighted to hear about that.
Yes.
Sure. So, well, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity to share who I am and my artistry and how the Lord has just been working through me all my life, really. So my name is Erik James Montgomery. I'm a professional photographer, educator. I do public artwork. I'm an elder in the Church of God. Do a lot of good stuff. So I'm located here in Camden, New Jersey. That's where my studio and my gallery is. Originally, I'm from East Orange in Newark, New Jersey. I moved down to this area in 1999. And when I first moved down here, it reminded me a lot of Newark and East Orange and some places where I used to live. So I instantly just fell in love with the city. And after a while from doing counseling work and teaching here and there, I just started taking pictures and started documenting the city. And I knew that I was accepted in the city when people started talking about me, saying, "Oh, you know, Erik, he's from Camden." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I've been inducted into the Camden Hall of Fame now. So yeah, I'm good. So so I do a lot of personal work. My work really focuses on race, racism, and racial reconciliation. I also focus on my faith, which is Christianity. I do a lot of work that promotes Christianity in subtle and overt ways. I also teach anywhere from pre-K all the way to college to senior citizens. I will be starting my, I'm going to start teaching at Rowan University this fall. And
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So now you're Professor Montgomery.
And now Professor Montgomery. So
there you go. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what students will you be teaching? Freshmen, sophomores? What's the name of the class?
It's Digital Photography 1, and it's all different ages. The class is already full, so yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Erik, tell us what the process was to become a fine arts photographer, and what's the difference between a fine arts photographer and just say, I guess, a regular photographer?
Right.
Okay. So I'll answer that in the opposite order. A fine art photographer is somebody who creates artwork that you would see in galleries, museums, things of that nature.
Okay.
It is art for art's sake. It is not. Sometimes piece may sell, sometimes it won't. It's not done for commerce. It's done for passion. It's done for just expression, as opposed to making a dollar. Now, it's nice to make a dollar, but especially the type of work that I do, where it's very, some people may say it's controversial. I've learned that everyone's not my audience, but I really focus on those who really are on the same page as I am. And also know that my audience may not even be born yet. So what I do is I keep creating. So the process to become a fine art photographer for me, it was kind of easy because I've always been a storyteller through my arts, whether it's through graffiti or dance or whatever the case may be. But when I picked up the camera 35 years ago, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to create stories that really talk about the days and times that I live in. So I know in doing so that I won't take off the same way that a wedding photographer would, or some other photographer. But I'm glad that at the end of the day, whether it's a public artwork or whether it's at a gallery, or somebody just go to my Instagram page and say, hey, that picture really moved me, tell me more, then I know that I'm doing my job.
Okay.
Well, Erik, I do want to add that you also work with us at Unity Place off and on for years and years. And every year you do the Christmas pictures. And it is amazing how you make people look. I mean, amazing.
Thank you.
I remember the time you put teeth in somebody's mouth. It was just unbelievable. So let me tell you, you do take some beautiful, beautiful pictures. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Not only taking the photographs, but you also teach at different groups at Unity Place, men's group, Black History every year. You come back and do the Black History presentation. So you just have just so much that you do not only at Unity Place, but in the other areas is also. But I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Shout out for Unity Place. Yeah.
It's an honor to do that because a lot of times the clients that I take portraits of, this is the first portrait they had created with them in years.
That's true.
And a photo that they could be proud of, right? So whenever I create portraits, I take it very personal because at one time, for the earlier parts of my life, I had very low self-esteem. So I use photography as a tool to help build up self-esteem in others. And when you see that moment when people see their portrait and they really feel good about it, that means the world to me. And then there were times at Unity Place where the pictures that I've used were used in the point of when they passed away. And that's the only picture that the family has. So it's an honor. It's an honor on so many levels.
Get some feedback.
We have Latanya said, my brother is excellent at his craft. That's Latanya Johnson with that comment.
Yes.
So, Honey Bunches says, Uncle Erik, hey.
We're getting some feedback. Do you have a phone or something on? Because we're hearing some feedback.
No, I have the volume turned up all the way because you said you couldn't hear me. So
okay.
I can see if there's an internal microphone I could turn up.
Okay, I don't hear it now.
Yeah, I don't hear it as much now.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So Erik, is there anyone historically or current who inspired you to do fine art photography or photography in general?
Yeah. So for me, I'm very particular on whose work I look at, unless I'm teaching about said person or said group of people. Some artists are like sponges, so we can really absorb the stimulus that's around us. So to keep my artwork very organic, I'm very particular on who I look at. But there's 2 to 3 artists that really inspired me early on in the work that I do. The first one, his name is James Van Der Zee, and he documented a lot of the Harlem Renaissance that happened in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. He actually took pictures all the way up into the late 80s. The second person would be Gordon Parks, and a lot of people know about him. He was the first African-American photographer for Life magazine. He photographed a lot during the during the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. He directed Shaft. Those of us who saw that movie, directed for that movie, but stellar work, stellar. And then, the two of them, especially, I would gravitate to just because they were trailblazers. They really carved out a lane that many photographers are still following after. They came up in a time where Black people were portrayed in very stereotypical ways. So they broke out of that norm to show the dignity that our people have, to humanize humanity, like I like to say a lot. And they did that through the work. Gordon Parks especially said that the camera was his weapon. And I always held on to that because a lot of times there's a lot of weapons that our people can use, but for the camera to be used as a weapon against oppression means a lot to me. So those are the two people that I think of when you ask me that question.
Okay. All right. So with your artistry, how do you think, or how would you like, either one or both, your artistry to impact the culture? Has it impacted the culture? How would you like it to impact the culture? Like you said, your art is not for everybody. Now, let me just say this: you have woke art.
Yes.
Okay.
All of it.
Photography, right? So now, this is my personal opinion.
Okay.
The word woke has been around, especially in the Black community, for eons, right?
Right.
And it has been taken, misappropriated, and turned into something else that it was never supposed to mean.
Right.
So I'm talking about the true definition of woke. Okay. So that being said, as a woke photographer, fine art photographer, how do you want your artistry to impact the community, and how has it?
Yeah. So I'm not trying to tell people how to think, but I am encouraging them to think about themselves, their community, and their world, right? So the artwork that I create is really a mirror up to the world and say, take a look at yourself, right? It should be jarring. It should make you feel uncomfortable. It should be a call to action inwardly and outwardly. I believe that my artwork has impacted our culture in a very humble way, right? I don't know number wise, like how many people have saw my artwork or things of that nature. But when I can have people, you mentioned earlier that I have a gallery in Camden, it's called JPEG. And when I first opened it, I knew I wanted to open it in the middle of the city because I wanted to give access to art. Art is very colonized, even in 2025. A lot of people think that you have to be white and rich to be an artist or to appreciate art. So I'm really trying to decolonize art through my photography, through my gallery. But I mention all that to say there have been times that people have walked past my gallery and they said, thank you for being here, because now I see myself when I look through the windows.
Wow.
And that's better than a paycheck. That's better than selling 20 of my pieces. It's telling me that the community really appreciates what I'm doing, and they can see themselves in the artwork that's being shown. So that's what I think that I'm doing by impacting the community, by reflecting the community that I'm in.
Also, Eric, I want to mention about the photography that you took around Camden, the pictures of the faces. I'm not sure what you call that.
Sure.
But you know the one I'm talking about with all the different faces? Yeah. Talk about that.
So Michael Bloomberg, the multi-billionaire, he does a lot of philanthropy in the arts. And he has a whole foundation and he donates millions of dollars a year all around the world. Camden was awarded a grant back in 2020, actually in 2019, before the pandemic happened. They got some money. And what happened was they hired several artists to reflect the money that we received artistically. And I was the only Camden-based artist to be selected, and I chose to create portraits of the city. It was called Camden is Bright, Not Blight. And blight is definitely like despair and destruction. And that's what Camden is known for. If you was to Google Camden, New Jersey right now and hit images, you would see about 35 images that show abandoned buildings, police officers, drug kingpins, and things of that nature. And we know better, right? But from the outside in, people only know the destruction. And at one point, Camden was the nation's most dangerous city, things of that nature. So to counter that narrative, I created a portrait series where I photographed over 100 Camden residents, and there was a prompt that said Camden is on the top, and then on the bottom, each person said one word that defined Camden for them. And I didn't even have to say, don't say anything negative, because every person said something positive. And everything from love to my city to God's city to one child at the time, he was 2 years old, now he's 7. He said, Camden is my name, because his mother named him Camden, and she's from Irvington, New Jersey. So that just shows how much she loves Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
So what I did was I enlarged those portraits to 30 inches wide, 40 inches high, and I put them on abandoned buildings all throughout the city. And the beautiful thing is, A, it helped beautify the city. B, as soon as we were awarded the grant, about 4 weeks later, we went on lockdown. And we did not I didn't let that stop me from doing my project. Other projects got halted, but I worked around it, where I was photographing people outside. I was still having my photos printed, and I was still going out to beautify the city. So you would hear people seeing me install these pieces, and the younger people, they would ask me questions like, hey, are those people dead? And they weren't. But in our culture, for the younger people, we only memorialize people after they pass away. So I use it as a teaching moment to say that, no, we're giving people their flowers now while they're still living. So that was a great thing. And just to have various cultures, we had Asians, white people, Black people, young, elderly, everybody in between, just being represented in that series. So that's probably one of my most favorite series that I've done in public art.
I do love that.
Yeah, that was a powerful exhibit. And on the portraits on the abandoned buildings, I can imagine, you know what I mean, the sentimentality, you know, that people, when they walk by, that they would see it, and just, you know, the culture.
Right. And because of most of our clients, the majority of our clients are from Camden or that area, it was really like, oh man, we know the guy who took these pictures. And so it was like, you know, he comes in the Unity, he's a star. You know, he's a star, you know.
Everywhere he goes, he's a star.
He's a star. So that was just such a special thing there.
Netta says, Eric, when is your next show?
Hey, Mama Netta. So I plan on doing 2 shows this year, one in October in Newark and one in November down here in Camden. And once we solidify the dates, I will definitely share that with Sharon and Sandra, and you'll see it on social media as well.
And you can definitely, if you choose to, come back on. We do business spotlights. If you don't want to come on the show, you get like 5 minutes to come on and just say, hey, I'm having this exhibit. This is where you can go. This is what it's about. This is how to get tickets and all that. And also to just send us your advertisements, and we'll advertise it on the show as a lead up to when you're going to have your showings. So yeah, let's definitely not forget that. Look, another question. How has social media influenced photography positively and negatively? The internet and social media, because in my mind, it seems like it may have taken some things away, because now people, you know, we don't buy pictures the way we used to, right? We you know, we have these phones and we do a lot of it ourselves. So how has social media and the internet affected the photography business?
Yeah, so social media is a blessing and it's a curse. With photography, it's allowed photographers to be able to showcase their work all around the world, and that's a great thing. The bad thing is now a lot of people believe that they're photographers once they take a few pictures and they get 10 likes. They're like, oh, I got 10 likes. I'm a photographer now, right?
Right.
So that would be the bad thing. So it really opens up the avenue for people to share their work. But now with AI And now with a lot of the rules that Meta and these other platforms are using, once you put your artwork out into the public space, it's no longer your artwork. They can use it, they can manipulate it, AI can learn from it and create their own version of the artwork that you're doing. So we haven't seen the fullness of what AI is going to have an impact on through social media. But so that's just one whole component on the negativity. I would also say that now people are using social media with AI, creating photographs, and now saying that they're creating artwork, where I would beg to differ. You're just you're just using a computer to make your own work. So that would be something else that I would say negative. That's a negative for social media. But back to the positive, I would say that people are learning from each other. And where it took me several years to get really proficient in photography, through social media, people can now do that in a fraction of that time. So we have to take the good with the bad, but I will always say that if anybody wants to be a photographer or an artist, to really dig into the history of it, to learn how to do it yourself without the aid of AI and things of that nature, because if you're using AI to create your work, then you're not really an artist in my book.
All right.
Okay. So now how does that affect us showing some of your work today? You know, you said people can take it and use it. How does that affect you showing your work?
Yep. So it's fine. So sometimes I will be very selective in the work that I show. And it's a battle, right? So to answer your question, I'm totally fine with all the work that you're showing today. That's totally fine. But me personally, when I'm showing work on social media, I have 1,000 photos that I can show, and I probably show about 10 each year. I'm very leery on how I'm sharing my work right now. But for your platform, let's go. Any photo.
Is there something that, you know how when you do, and I can't remember the word, when you say you're doing a wedding or something like that, and you send out proofs and it says proof on it, so that you can't really, you don't want to, right? So is there something that you can do like that so they can't, take your work?
You could do like a watermark or some type of branding that can deter the average person from taking your work. But like right now, my niece can easily just look at our background right now and just put daisies behind us or put a waterfall behind us in 2 clicks, right? So it's not hard at all. So if I did have a watermark, the average person who's worth their water to manipulate images, they can get around.
Got you. Okay. Yep. All right. Understood.
Yeah.
So Eric, tell us about EJM Foundation.
Yes.
What is the foundation? Who does it serve? And, what do you do there?
Sure. So the EJM Foundation was created back in 2012, 2011, but it went through the nonprofit process back in 2014. So we've been around for over 10 years. And basically, we serve marginalized communities all around the world by teaching them photography and by creating public works of art. And we also run a summer camp in Bear Mountain, New York called Camp Winona, which is having its last week as we speak right now. And so we focus on education, exploration, and exhibition as far as photography is concerned. And then we also have a dotted line to youth development. That's where the camp comes in.
All right. Eric, I know that you've traveled, out of the country. Was that a part of the EJM Foundation?
It was. So a few years ago, I traveled to Johannesburg to teach photography to a group of teenagers. And speaking of having a nonprofit, I had received donations from Rutgers University. I'm a community partner with them through my foundation. And they donated 6 Canon cameras for these students. And I spent 3 weeks down there teaching them photography, and it culminated to an exhibition and things of that nature. So that was beautiful. And then about 3 weeks ago, I was over in the UK, over in London and Scotland, documenting Black life in those places, because a lot of people don't think Black people are in Scotland, right? But there's plenty of Black people.
I didn't know
At
that.
least 5 of them, right? So I photographed all 5 of them. No, but it was great. It was great. It was a great way to hear about the cultures over in UK, but to, again, document Black life out there, and to also hear their stories about how it is for them to really express their culture in a place where it's not always welcoming, right? So it's good to do that. So I love to travel. I'm a huge proponent on travel, especially for artists. If I could help artists, heck, get out of their state, let alone get out of their country, just to see the world for themselves and not see it from the media's point of view, means a lot to me.
So if somebody wanted to be a part of the foundation, to learn or to help, how would someone go about doing that?
Sure. The best way is to go to my website, which is ejmfoundation.org or ejmf.org. Either one will take you to our website, and you would see the programs that we have to offer, ways to donate, ways to get involved, some of the work that my students have done over the past 20 years that I've been teaching photography, and 10 years through the foundation. And just ways to connect with us. And we're always looking for people to support us. We get donations from camera equipment to actual financial support and everything in between. So we're always welcome to that. Anybody who do donate, because we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, you can use some of that as a tax write-off if it's a product or a camera. And if it's dollars, depending on how good your tax person is, you'll probably get dollar for dollar back into your refund.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right.
So I know you have a heart for the young people as well as others. And you do your summer camera camp and all of that. And tell us about some of the challenges or barriers that young people today who are aspiring photographers may encounter, and how can they overcome some of those challenges and barriers?
Sure. The largest barrier is getting a camera. And fortunately, if you have a cell phone, you could definitely take great photos with your cell phone. Some people think that you need a professional camera, but you don't. I've seen the 76ers media team do a whole commercial on their smartphone. So, and they're doing major motion movies with smartphones. So that's one level. But even with that, not every young person in the communities that I serve have smartphones. So this is where the donations come in. And a lot of times, as soon as I get a camera in, I give it right back out. And I still have students coming to me way into their adulthood and saying, hey, you gave me my first camera, or I'm still using that camera that you gave me a few years ago. So that's good to hear. Some of my students have went on to study at Columbia University and things of that nature, and receive their degree in photography from a simple donated camera. So one of the barriers is definitely getting a device that they could use to create photos with. And then the second one is just knowing that they too could be an artist, a working artist, and make a living by it, because unfortunately that's not promoted a lot of times in the communities that we are in. I said a little bit earlier, when people think artist, they think white person with a glass of wine making $1 million. Where we live, with a little red flag. So, but when they see people that look like me, that you know are from their neighborhood and have interesting stories and making a living being an artist, it's being a Black unicorn, right? So. But then letting them know, no, there's other artists as well that come from your community, and I can introduce them to that. Speaking of which, I don't know if you're going to ask me about it, but with JPEG Gallery, once a month, every last Wednesday of the month, I have something called an artist meetup, where I bring the community into my gallery for free, and they are able to learn from other artists, whether it's about how to be professional, how to communicate properly, working on branding, how to price yourself properly, things of that nature. We have people come in, and we also give space for people to do a 30-second commercial at the end to introduce themselves and to share some things that they have going on. And I've seen beautiful things happen during these meetups. I've seen people get jobs. I've seen people be able to learn about grants and opportunities. And I've had one person said, I was so scared in doing this 30-second commercial. And now when you hear him speak, he's like the best orator in the world, right? So giving people space and the courage and the freedom to learn and to even make mistakes. And I tell people, even if you fall going forward, because that way you're closer to the goal that you're trying to get. So, yeah, so these are some of the things that we do to help people get to where they want to be.
Okay.
Now, Erik, I personally know that you've taken pictures of kind of famous people, and also your work has been shown on famous magazines. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that, or the people who you that are deemed famous that you've taken?
He's taking me.
Yes, and me too.
So I'm definitely taking pictures of Dr. Sharon Thomas, famous doctor in the whole world. Sharon as well. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy belated birthday, Sharon.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry. So, so for me, I don't really get hung up on like famous people too much. I believe that everybody's important in their own right. When I first started, I photographed a lot of entertainers. So a lot of rappers and things of that nature. So I photographed the Wu-Tang Clan and Nas and Busta
old school rappers.
Yeah, a lot of old school rappers because I'm old. So a lot of those rappers. But then when I switched over to really doing fine art full time, I just really focused on really telling stories as opposed to chasing after famous people, right? Which is fine, right? Place, but I just switched gears after a while and just really focused on storytelling.
Yeah. Now I know you took a picture of the mayor.
Yeah, I did. So the current mayor, Mayor Korstoffen, he's the mayor of Camden, New Jersey. So I photographed him for his official portrait, which is in City Hall. And if you ever go to City Hall, right outside the City Council chambers, you see all of the portraits of all of the mayors of Camden over the years. And you'll see his picture as the most current photo. And so that was a pleasure. And he's very arts friendly. So it's good to have him in office. And he's really trying to help make Camden a more art city. Right now, Newark is number 8 in the most arts-friendly city in the country. So we're really trying to get Camden up there. A lot of times people will go over to Philadelphia to get their arts dose. Try to have Camden be that place, whether it's through our murals or through portraits and everything in between.
All right. And your work showed up on the front cover of what magazine?
That would be Life magazine.
Exactly.
Life magazine. Yeah. So that happened a couple of years ago. There was I was hired to photograph the artwork of Lavette Ballard. She's an artist from Willingboro, world famous artist, and this was for her second cover for the magazine, and she called me to do the cover for it. So I was very honored to do that.
Yes. I know your work, so I just want to throw that out there. We're so proud. Always so proud. And I know we have some of Erik's work too. I got to remember. I don't want to forget that. But go ahead.
We're not going to forget. Okay. So Erik, as a man of God, a man of faith.
Yes.
How has your faith walk, your journey with the Lord, impacted the work that you do, and where you are in life with your work as an entrepreneur?
Sure. So when I first started doing photography, I was 18 years old, and I was searching for who I was going to serve, and I studied every religion under the stars. Islam, Rastafarianism, 5%, the whole 9 yards. But then when I read the book of Matthew for myself back in, it was 1999. And I definitely said, this is it. This is the truth. And I made the decision there to give my life to the Lord. And I never looked back since. I got saved, joined the church, started serving him inside the church, then eventually outside the church, as far as evangelism and just things of that nature. And then I started incorporating my faith into my photography. So I would photograph a lot of our church services during like praise and worship, and just photographing people while they having these intimate moments with the Lord. And to be trusted to capture these moments with people that I care about and really love meant a lot to me. But it also gave me a knowing of when to capture these moments. So it's something that really is really hard to explain. But for any Christian who's doing something for the Lord, when you're in that flow, it's like it's just natural. You just not to sound super spiritual, but you will hear the promptings and you'll just know when to press the shutter or when to look this way or not to take the photograph or just to have that Selah moment, right? So, and that can only come out of relationship with the Lord. So,
Exactly.
So for me, my artwork, I said earlier, it's not always overtly Christian, but it always have the foundation of the Lord in there, no matter what. Because when we look at the Bible, the first 10 words of the book of Genesis is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That word created, right? So just to focus on creating, to recreate, to document what has already been created, to create something that's out of nothing to make it beautiful. That's what we do as artists, and God is that master artist. And I could only be this type of artist that I am now because of who I serve, right? So yeah, it's very natural for me to really go into this vein, and I'm learning now to really be able to share who he is and what he means to me on a grander level, but still making it not like I'm beating somebody over the head, right? So it's a real balance. And when we look at the way that the Lord walked this earth, there were some times that he did healing and he said, don't tell anybody what I've done.
That's
and they went and ran and told.
And there's other times where he did things publicly, right? So I think that in my own walk, especially with my work, where sometimes I will let people know this is where I stand, this is who I serve. And there's other times where it may not be that moment, because sometimes simply by saying Jesus is the most controversial name in the history of time. It can either gravitate people towards what you're saying, or it can make people run away. And just by mentioning the name of Jesus doesn't mean that you're always doing the right thing. Right? Sometimes the Lord just wants you to just listen. Sometimes the Lord just wants you to just be observant. Sometimes, you know, you could pray for somebody with just a hug or through conversation. They could be sharing with you all of the things that's going on, and in your spirit, you're praying for them, and they never know it. But the Lord hears your prayers, right? So in my work, there's been plenty of times that I've incorporated my faith in my walk, and people never knew it. And there's other times I've spoken in front of thousands of people, and I made it be known that this is who I serve, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Yeah. Doreen says, "Hey, handsome."
Hey, beautiful.
So Eric, let's get into it. Sandra shared a couple of seconds ago some of your work that we have here to show to the audience, and you giving a brief explanation of what it means. And before we start, any of the work that we're seeing tonight, can it be purchased?
Absolutely. So you can contact me directly. I have most of the originals are 24 by 36 inches, printed on cotton canvas. as you can see, I do a lot with cotton and things of that nature. It's incorporated in a lot of my work. So if anybody wants to buy an original, they can contact me directly, or if they want a smaller print, which is about 8 by 12 inches, I do have those for sale as well.
Okay. So why don't we start with the one that's behind us now? And then Ayana will just put them up randomly, and then you'll share what it is that you want to share about it. So Ayana, let's start with the one that's our border right now.
Is she gonna take us down?
I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Got to give her a little time.
Okay.
All right. So this picture is named Interwoven. Interwoven. And what we see is a jail cell, but in between the bars is the American flag. And it's interwoven in between every other bar in that jail cell. And if you look very carefully right above the lock, you'll see two hands, a set of hands, holding onto the bars. So you see a convicted criminal who's incarcerated, and all of that is happening in America. For those of you who don't know, America loves to lock up people. Right now,
loves it.
Loves.
2 million people that's incarcerated, serving parole or on probation right now as we speak. When we look at the 13th Amendment, some people think that that's the amendment that freed the slaves. I would say that it partially freed the enslaved Africans, but when you read it, it says, unless you're serving the sentence for a crime. So if you're in jail, or if you're on probation, or if you're on parole, legally, according to the 13th Amendment, you're still a slave.
Exactly.
Horrible. That's why they could pay people 13 cents a day to make clothing and all the horrific things that are happening right now. So I just want to show that this is an American issue, but America used these prisoners to help build up this great land of ours. So that's what we see in this picture.
That's wonderful.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Speaks volumes. Do we have, okay, here we are.
Yeah, so in this photograph, it's called American Dream. Like I said earlier, just to give you a little pretext, a lot of my work deals with race, racism, and racial reconciliation. And I have a series of photographs called Red, White, Blue, and You. And these photographs, a lot of these photographs fall under that umbrella where I'm investigating how America has treated people of color over the past 400 years and our response to it through photographs. So we all heard about the whole moniker, the American Dream. But in this picture, you see somebody holding an ice cream cone that's made out of red, white, and blue ice cream, and it's melting. It's rapidly melting. And if you look very carefully right under the pinky, you'll see one red drop, one white drop, and one blue drop of ice cream, right? So it shows how the American dream is quickly deteriorating. And the tighter that we hold on to that dream, the more that it becomes a nightmare.
Ooh, that's
wow. Good. Yeah.
So good. Love that.
Yeah. So everybody from our Black community recognized this pic, but we've never seen it like this. It's always been black, and sometimes it'll have a peace sign in the middle, and it's been that way since the early 70s. So it's an Afro pic, and the name of this photo is called Picking a Fight. And a lot of times I will also use paint, whether it's red, white, or blue paint, or just white paint, where I'm coating it over items that Black people really identify with. In this case, it's an Afro pic. So in this, I'm saying a few things, but one thing in particular, when we look at the way that we pick our hair, especially back in the day, that was a true sign of rebellion. That was right after the Civil Rights Movement. That was during the Black Power movement. Black Power was coined by a gentleman named Stokely Carmichael. He later changed his name to Kwame Ture. Sharon, my wife Sharon, and I actually saw him over in Brooklyn, New York, back in the early 90s. So it was a pleasure seeing him in person speak about the atrocities of America. But with this Afro pick, back then it was really to pick out our hair to the highest extent, right? And that was a rebellion because it was showing that we are taking ownership over the way that we look, the way that we dress, right? So when you see Afro pick with white paint dripping down from it, but you don't see the source of the white paint, you have to ask yourself, where's that paint coming from? And one of the things that I'm saying with this picture is that some of us have rejected our blackness to the point that the whiteness is coming from the inside out. And we see that even in the things that we usually use to represent our blackness, but now we have to question, is it really our blackness or is it black whites? Is it black 2.0? Is it black with a white overcoat, right? Questions we have to ask ourselves.
That is
powerful. Powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of what they call street photography. And street photography is where photographers will walk or drive around said city and they will look for objects or people that they find interesting. So before I moved into this new studio, I had a studio on South Broadway in Camden at Camden Fireworks. And I was driving home from there one night or one afternoon. And I saw this couple that was sitting under an overpass. And they were sitting just the way that you see them now. And I immediately pulled my car over, had my business card in my hand. A lot of times I will use my business card to show that I'm a credible artist, because a lot of times in Camden, you'll see people, especially people that don't look like me, come into the city to do what I call poverty porn, which means that they photograph all the destruction and the poverty and all of the ills of the city, and then take it back to Cherry Hill or to Paris and say, look at Camden, look at this mess, right? And make a lot of money from it. So I show them that I'm from the city, and I tell them that I have a studio in the city and I'm documenting Camden, da 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 da. So I approached this couple, told them who I was, told them what I do, and I asked them if I could take their picture. And let me tell you, if I asked maybe 1,000 people over the past 35 years to take their picture, probably 5 people said no. So I really thank God for that ratio, because most people, they know when people mean harm. And so I really appreciate that. So they allowed me to take this picture. But when you look at this couple, right, you have to ask yourself, why did they choose to sit there? It wasn't raining. They didn't have to, run for shelter. They decided to just take shelter right there for a moment. I don't know if they were unhoused. I don't know if they didn't have any money. I didn't ask them any of that. Sometimes I don't ask, because when you tell everybody everything about the picture or the artwork that you create, then they stop investigating. When people treat artwork like it's a test, like a math test or a math problem, you will always look for the answer. What does your artwork mean? What are you trying to say? But with artwork, it's very subjective. It means subjective means that when you look at the artwork, you have your own meaning behind it. So somebody could look at this couple and say, oh, they must be homeless. Another couple could say, no, they just liked the mural that was behind them. They just wanted to just sit down and just take a rest for a minute. For me, I saw a beautiful couple who negated everything that was going on around them to embrace one another. And that's the name of this photo, Embrace. And it just shows that you don't have to have everything to love the somebody that you're with.
Right.
Nice.
That's nice.
It really is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's go. So this photograph is called Wash, Rinse, Hang, Repeat. Wash, rinse, hang, repeat. So in here you see the American flag, and at the time, America only had 48 states, and it was showing what are portrayed as two enslaved Africans. And the setting is Pomona Hall, which is in Camden. Pomona Hall was the mansion, actually the plantation, that the Cooper family owned back in the 17 and 18, all the way up to the 1900s. The Cooper family was one of the most prominent families here in Camden, New Jersey. Anybody who knows anything about Camden, they know about Cooper Hospital, they know about the Cooper Library, just all things Cooper, Cooper Fair, all of that. But the Coopers owned enslaved Africans, 17 to be exact. So I was hired by the Historical Society of Camden County to take the names of these 17 people and imagine what they would look like back in the 1700s. From there, I often return to this spot to create more photographs that depict enslaved Africans from that era. That's what you see here. You see two enslaved Africans who were washing the American flag. But if you look very carefully, there's a woman who is being hung. If you look very carefully, you'll see the rope that's connected. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Didn't notice that before.
So she was lynched, right? And lynching was actually still legal in America up until 2 years ago. Up until 2 years ago. So I showed the dichotomy of how enslaved Africans, because they weren't slaves, they were enslaved Africans, were made to work regardless of what was happening around them. They would see their loved ones get whipped, get raped, get tortured, even get killed, and they would still have to work on said plantation that same day. And that's what we see here. And then lastly, her right hand is reaching for a star, right? So that just tells me that we are the fulfillment of a lot of dreams that our ancestors had. A lot of our ancestors dreamt of the day that their great-great-grandchildren would have the freedom that we take for granted.
Yes.
So we're actually living out the dreams that our ancestors got lynched for.
Wow.
Man,
that is so powerful.
It really is. Erik, you are just
unbelievable.
Yes, amazing. The God has gifted you with a talent and a creativity, that is just second to none. And I want all of those pictures. I want every picture in your gallery. God's got to bless me with some money.
I got you.
So good.
Yes, man, those are amazing pictures. They're so moving, right? If you are not moved, you are a brick. Right? by Erik's artistry, photographic artistry. How could you not?
I was at the red, white, and blue exhibit. Red, white, and blue, and
you.
That's the one where you had the huge flag. I actually have one of his portraits. It's a three-parter. Remember, the face was painted. One was red, one was white, one was blue. It was just the eyes were closed. Remember, I think it was See No Evil. I can't remember exactly because I have it. I don't have it hanging up. I have it in a special section. But it was just to walk through and look at the creation. Remember the one with it wasn't George Floyd. It was the first one. What's the guy's name?
So many.
The first one, the one we talked about first, with the Skittles. Remember the one you did?
Trayvon Martin.
The Trayvon when you laid out and you did. It was just so many. It's just if you get an opportunity,
you must
go by and see Erik's work at that studio, because it blows. You've never seen anything like it.
Never.
You have never seen anything like it. You're like, wow, how did he come up with that? But it's all just how God has given you a way to see things and to put your work out there. And it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
When you see it, you don't even have to it's just like it blows you away,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just says so much because you can look at it and you can
Mm-hmm.
take different meanings from it. So I mean, tonight, Eric, you know, we love ourselves some Erik Montgomery.
Absolutely.
But your work is just
Mm-hmm.
second to none, and I've called him world renowned
Because he is.
from the very
He
beginning.
is.
And let me tell you what, he travels all over, and this is just the beginning because you have 2 studios, right, Erik?
So I have a studio where I'm at now, where I do a lot of teaching of photography. But then down the
Is
street,
that the JPEG?
that's the JPEG Gallery down the street.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And then you have the other one.
So yeah,
Down the street?
so this is the studio. It's on the
Okay.
same street, just
Oh.
on 2 opposite sides of the street. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah, so this is my studio where I'm actually doing a lot of like teaching, and I do portrait work here and things of that nature. But down
Okay.
that's where the art gallery is, and that's where I have
Okay.
all the exhibitions and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Erik, let me ask you this, because you know everybody won't be able to get to a studio for whatever reason. Is it possible? And because I'm thinking about what you said about people stealing people's work basically online. So how we're doing right now, can you have on a platform such as this an exhibition, right, where people can buy, like you're showing your work, you're talking about it, and people can purchase it. Like we've had Sandra's daughter do a live sale of her products on the show, right? But because of what it is that you do, people can steal your work, right? So is there a way to like have a live, sale, exhibition of your work on our platform without, the possibility of somebody stealing your work who, I don't know, because I was just thinking that, like, to get more eyes, you know what I mean, for people who might not be local to come to and see your work and get sales.
Yes.
No, I actually love that idea. I've done some live presentations, but I've never done a live exhibition where people could purchase their work. So it's like the Black QVC, I guess. So we could
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You said it here first.
There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
We have to get a date for that, Erik, because people need to see this.
It
is
you can't
moving.
leave the same.
You just cannot.
After you see because it I mean, these are the words I just don't have.
I'm blown away by the one we just saw. I never saw the rope, I guess, because I'm looking at the.
Yeah, I didn't see the rope either. I thought she was like reaching over to do something.
That's all I saw.
And it's just like, oh, she's dead. And another woman has to still work, like you said. It's like, that's crazy.
But how he thought of that, though, to put it and capture that, it is it's
Holy Spirit at work. That's relationship, as he said, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So we have some comments. We want to make sure that people get these comments. So after Doreen said that, so Paris says, "Hey y'all, super late. It's okay,
hey,
Paris. We love you.
So happy to see you."
And Kathleen just says, "Oh my goodness, your work is so beautiful." Aisha says, "Absolutely amazing and powerful images." REC says, "These pictures are beautiful."
Yes. Hey, Ari.
Honey Bunches says, "This is the type of art I want to see in history books and in schools."
Absolutely.
Yes. Doreen says, "It's amazing." Honey Bunches says, "You got to come back for a live sale."
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And we can get your work out there, and we won't do a lot of the talking. We'll just have
it'll
the
be
work.
live. Yeah, the sale.
Take us down, and you could just be in the corner. How you want to do it? So we're going to put that on the books, Erik, because this. You just gave us and I've seen so much of your work, but you just gave us just a tap. But
I'm thinking about all the work that I've seen over the years. It's just, this is, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't even scratch the surface of what his work is. So if you can get to his gallery, Erik, give the information about where your gallery is again and what you have upcoming in September for your 35th anniversary.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Yes,
absolutely.
Thank you. So the JPEG Gallery, JPEG stands for Jersey Photography Education Gallery. And it's located at 303 Market Street in Camden, New Jersey, right on the corner of 3rd and Market. You really can't miss it. It's all glass exterior. You'll see the artwork from outside in. So that's great. We have exhibitions every month, a lot of local to emerging to more established artists. We're always going through having one exhibition every month. For the month of September, we're going to focus on Latino artists that are in the city for Latino History Month, which starts in mid-September into October. Personally, the next exhibitions that I will have, one will be in Newark in the month of October. Every October, the city of Newark have an arts festival, and I was chosen to be a part of their upcoming arts festival. So I'm going to use that to celebrate my 35th anniversary.
That's beautiful.
I actually started doing photography up in Newark, so it's a full circle moment. And then the next month in November, I will showcase probably around 50 photos or so that I've taken strictly in Camden. I have a series called Camden 360, and it just shows the good, the bad, and everything in between of Camden. So a lot of these pictures have never been shown before. So I'm really excited about that, and just have people come into the gallery and see some of my work, which will also help celebrate my anniversary. And then I would say later in November, definitely before Thanksgiving, I would definitely say that you're going to come back here to the Black QVC to get some of my work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So those are the top 3 things that I have going on for the next 3 months.
Awesome. So
schedule.
Be sure to email myself or Ayana the flyer that you, or whatever the advertisement is that you're going to put out for each of these events. So during our weekly show, leading up to it, we can keep advertising it. And again, you just let us know when you want to come on and do a 5-minute something just to tell people about it. You can definitely do that. We have people, we spotlight their businesses and events, so we can definitely do that. We have a few more comments. Netta says, I love them all. You are a master. Honey Mudger says, congrats, 135 years. Doreen says, congratulations. Eric, this was great. This was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
And you know what? I told Sharon, I said, Sharon, we're going to end up going over because
we already knew that.
We cannot get to all the questions because it's just so much, and you just have so much to share. We're just so excited, but we don't want to work people's patience because we do know we're normally here an hour, but we sliding over a little extra tonight. But that's all right because
it's worth it.
Eric, he's the one.
He is
the
right.
World renowned.
People need to know who he is so they can buy some of this artwork, and not because he needs the money, but just because we need this type of art. Because we will buy. I don't know, stuff that don't even matter.
Just look at that picture right there. I'm just
it's not mine. It's not mine. But that's somebody who she knew.
Okay, but it is
patronizing that person.
It's beautiful though.
So, but we need to have things that are meaningful. Right. And especially, a spirit-led folks. And spirit-led work. So we will always promote you and your work, Eric, because you're amazing.
Well, thank you, ladies, for this time. I really appreciate y'all.
You're welcome.
I appreciate being on your platform. It's always great to be before y'all. Not in the physical, but it's always good to be there. I thank you for allowing me to share some about my faith, which I really appreciate. I appreciate the work that y'all are doing for the Lord, and and I love y'all. Thank you so much.
We love you
too. Yes. So listen. Great show, of course. We want you to tune in next week, Wednesday. I'm not sure who we have.
It's a secret because I don't know yet. Depends on what the Lord says.
Spirit led all the way.
Exactly.
I'll call her on Tuesday. We won't know nothing until Tuesday night. She'll say, the Lord spoke, and we're going to have this enough. So anyway, make sure you tune in to the show on next week. We just, again, so thankful that you decided to join. For those of you who did not actually write anything on, we know you're still watching. You don't have to write anything, but we appreciate that anyway. We're just so honored that Eric just came on and just did his thing, which you knew he would do. And so we just are excited about it. And so we can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And we are going to have a showing of his artwork, probably like maybe in November. So we will give you all of that information. And you will have he will show what he's going to be able to show, and you're going to be blown away.
And you can purchase
look forward
it.
to that.
So,
Absolutely.
and if you're watching on the replay,
Absolutely.
or any of you want to go back, Erik's information is on the screen right now. Call or email him if you want to purchase some of his amazing work.
Absolutely.
Because it is for sale, and or visit his gallery, 3rd and Market in Camden, New Jersey.
Absolutely.
So that is our show tonight. Again, thank you so much, Erik, for joining us. We love you. Can't wait to see you in person. Can't wait to see you again back on the show.
Yes.
And we will see you all next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. with whatever the Lord says that we're going to talk about, and whoever he says is going to be the guest, if there is a guest.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Have a God evening. Have a God week.
Absolutely.
Shalom.
Good night.